Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches: Miami Marlins vs Colorado Rockies, Texas Rangers vs Oakland Athletics, Los Angeles Angels vs Los Angeles Dodgers, Arizona Diamondbacks vs San Diego Padres, and Chicago White Sox vs Chicago Cubs, which are happening on Sunday, August 8, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Miami Marlins vs Colorado Rockies. The overall record of these two teams is close, but the Rockies are the superior team when factoring in the home field advantage. Colorado leads MLB with a .283 home team batting average and is second, scoring 5.7 runs per game. The Marlins are 23rd with a .227 road batting average and 24th, averaging 3.9 runs per game on the road. On Sunday, Miami's struggling offense will face Kyle Freeland, who is 1-0 with a 2.25 career ERA against them, and active Marlins hitters have only a lifetime .152 batting average against him. The Miami Marlins are one of the weakest defensive teams in the entire sport, as they are 28th in the majors with a .675 ops this season. They have scored a decent amount of runs, as they are averaging 3.9 runs per game this season, despite being built on pitching, while scoring 3.63 runs per game in that span. Shortstop Miguel Rojas has been doing pretty well with the bat this year, as he has a .736 ops with 6 home runs and 28 RBI. If the Marlins can address the hitting issues in the offseason, this team can contend for an NL wild card spot next year. My betting advice for that game is to pick Colorado Rockies. Texas Rangers vs Oakland Athletics. The Rangers continue to flounder offensively, as they were shut down on Friday night in the opening game of the series. Texas doesn't really strike fear in anyone when you consider they dealt away their top power hitter in Joey Gallo. Lyles has been gouged by the long ball this season and has been tagged for 17 homers in 11 road starts. That proved to be the difference in Friday's opener, as Mart's 3-run bomb gave Oakland the win. Jeffries was solid, if unspectacular, in his season debut, and facing a weak Texas lineup should be a favorable landing spot for his second outing. The Rangers are in the stage of their team cycle in which they are looking to get ready for a rebuild. The team just recently lost some big players like Gallo and have given up on the season. They are last place in the league, just recently coming off a loss against the Rangers. The Rangers are scoring 3.8 runs per game and allowing 4.9 runs per game. This is going to get worse as the season progresses, as the Rangers have basically given up on the season. Jordan Lyles is expected to start in this game. Oakland won their second straight and 6th in the last 8 games by picking up the walk-off win in extra innings Friday night. The A's entered Saturday second in the AL West, 3 games behind the Astros for the division lead. In the AL wild card picture, the team owns the second wild card spot by 1.5 games over the surging Yankees. On Friday, Oakland finished with only 4 hits, with Starling Marte, 3 RBI, having 2 of them. Marte hit a walk-off 3-run homer, his 9th of the season, in the 11th inning to give the A's the triumph. Chris Bassett threw 7 innings, allowing 1 run on 5 hits with no walks and 8 strikeouts, though he didn't factor in the decision. Yusmeiro Petit, 8-1, worked a scoreless 11th, striking out 1, to earn the win in relief. My betting advice for that game is to pick Oakland A's -1.5. Los Angeles Angels vs Los Angeles Dodgers. The Angels won the first game of this series, but make no mistake as to which team is the better squad when you get right down to it. As it stands, the Angels are minus both Mike Trout and Jared Walsh, a pair of all-stars, while Shohei Ohtani has been dealing with a thumb issue from being hit with a foul ball last weekend. Detmers was rocked in his first major league start, which came against the A's, who are below average when it comes to putting runs on the board. He now has to face a Dodgers team that is loaded with all-star talent and who is third in the majors with an average of 5.18 runs per game. Buehler has lost twice this season, and the Dodgers didn't score a run in those outings. Go with Los Angeles Dodgers minus 1.5. Arizona Diamondbacks vs San Diego Padres. Blake Snell's overall numbers have been disappointing this season, but he has been very good at Petco Park, where he is 3-1 with a 2.81 ERA in 8 starts. Snell also tossed 4 2.3 innings of shutout ball, while recording 8 strikeouts in his only game against the Diamondbacks this year in a 4-2 Padres win on April 2nd. Bumgarner was lit up for 6 earned runs in 4 innings in April, which was his only start against the Padres this season. It was a hard-fought game Saturday night for the D-backs, who were down 1-0 after the first inning and then went ahead in the top of the second before the Padres tied it up 2-2 in the bottom of the inning. The game would then go 5 more scoreless innings before San Diego would finally go ahead for good by scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Arizona was unable to score another run, losing the game 6-2. Still, it's another game that proves just how tough the D-backs play their own division. After blowing a 5-0 lead on Friday on their way to an 8-5 loss, the San Diego Padres are 62-49 overall, currently holding on to the second wild card spot in the National League, 2.5 games ahead of the Cincinnati Reds. Leading the way for the Padres has been a pitching staff that ranks 4th in MLB with a 3.56 ERA and 9th with a .232 opponent's batting average allowed. Starting on Sunday for San Diego, Blake Snell will be E5-4 with a 5.24 ERA in 20 starts this season. My betting advice for that game is to pick San Diego Padres minus 1.5. Chicago White Sox vs Chicago Cubs. I look at the last outing by Davies as an anomaly, as he has been solid for the Cubs. However, he is not going to get much offensive support. The Cubs have scored 14 runs in their last 4 games and really struggled on Saturday. Meanwhile, the White Sox are loving playing their crosstown rivals. They have dominated the first 2 games of the series, helping them move above .500 on the road, 27-26. The Cubs dropped their 3rd straight game on Saturday, thanks to a team that was having no success making contact. Chicago struck out a season-high 17 times, recording 5 hits and 2 walks. David Bote had 2 hits in the game. Adbert Alzolay pitched a solid game, allowing 2 runs in 6.2 innings. Chicago is 21st in runs per game, 4.21, and 17th in runs allowed per contest, 4.60. They are 21st in run differential at -0.39. The Cubs are 27th in team batting average .227 and 10th in home runs per game, 1.26. Zach Davies gets the start for the Cubs. The right-hander is 6-8 with a 4.79 ERA in 23 starts. Davies was hammered in his last start, giving up 7 runs in 4.0 innings. This came after a solid July, where he allowed 11 total runs in 25.1 innings pitched. The right-hander has not faced the White Sox this season. The Cubs are led by Willson Contreras, who has 17 homers and 40 runs driven in. Chicago is hitting .219 against right-handers this season and is averaging 4.11 runs per 9 innings, 0.88 fewer than against lefties. My betting advice for that game is to pick the Chicago White Sox. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.